Supplements can be game changers for gut healing, but only when used strategically. If you're looking for random handfuls of pills, that's just not going to cut it. You need a systematic approach. Enter the Functional Medicine 5R protocol. Remove harmful factors, replace missing enzymes, reinoculate with beneficial bacteria, repair the gut lining, and rebalance for long-term health. In this final episode of our Dress Code series, we're exploring evidence-based supplements that can accelerate your gut healing journey, from probiotics and digestive enzymes to gut-repairing nutrients and antimicrobial herbs. Are you ready to complete your gut healing toolkit? Let's dive into strategic supplementation. Hey friend, welcome to Gut Fix. Are you ready to finally get rid of those debilitating digestive symptoms? Do you catch yourself staying up late Googling things like, what can I eat? Or how do I stop a flare? Or maybe you're just lying awake wondering, how did this ever happen to me? I'm Wendy, and I've been exactly where you are, desperately searching for answers, but determined to find natural solutions. And like you, I was overwhelmed by all the conflicting information out there and unsure of what might really work for me. And so now in this podcast, I'm here to share with you what I've learned, how to listen to your body's signals, and uncover the common mistakes that might be standing in the way of your healing. So grab your favorite drink, pop in your earbuds, and let's dive into your health transformation together. Welcome back to Gut Fix and our final episode of our Dress Code series for gut healing. I'm your host, Wendy Handy, FDN, and today I want to explore the second S in our framework, supplements. So over the past 5 episodes, we've built a comprehensive foundation for gut health through your diet, rest, exercise, and stress management. And today we're adding the final piece of the puzzle, strategic supplementation. And this episode is more about understanding when, why, and how to use supplements as targeted support for your gut healing rather than using them only for your gut healing. So we're not talking about replacing a healthy lifestyle with pills. That's never going to work. But rather using that evidence-based supplements to accelerate your healing and provide specific nutrients that may be, very challenging to obtain when you're using food alone. And we'll explore the Functional Medicine 5R protocol, which is to remove, replace, reinoculate, repair, and rebalance. And we'll learn about specific supplements that can support each phase of your gut healing. And by the end of the episode, it's my hope that you'll understand how to create a personalized supplement protocol that complements all the other elements of the dress code. But before we dive in to specific supplements, it is important to understand the proper role of supplementation in gut healing. So supplements should never be your first line of intervention, nor should they replace the foundational elements that we've talked about in the previous episodes. So think of your supplements as the icing on the cake. They can enhance and accelerate the benefits of a very comprehensive approach, but they're not going to be able to compensate for a poor diet, lack of sleep, chronic stress, or just an overall sedentary lifestyle. So with that being said, when used strategically, supplements can provide very powerful support for gut healing. And they can also deliver therapeutic doses of, specific nutrients that are, provide targeted support for particular aspects of digestive function. And they can also help to address the deficiencies that, that could have developed due to poor absorption or, increased needs during the healing process. And the key is using supplements very systematically and purposefully rather than taking a handful of random products and hoping for the best. That rarely works, and it certainly isn't going to work long term. And this is where the Functional Medicine 5R protocol starts to become very invaluable. So the 5R protocol provides a very logical framework for, using supplements in your gut healing. So let's explore each phase and the supplements that can support that phase. So first is you want to remove, and that's the phase that focuses on addressing factors that contribute to the gut dysfunction in the first place. It might be pathogenic bacteria, it might be yeast overgrowth, it could be parasites, or any other harmful microorganism that can disrupt that whole gut ecosystem. And antimicrobial herbs can be very powerful in this phase. Berberine, which is extracted from plants like golden seal and Oregon grape, has a very broad spectrum antimicrobial properties that has been shown to be effective against a lot of various pathogenic bacteria and yeast. Typical doses range from anywhere from 500 to 1500 milligrams daily. Usually that's divided up into 2 or 3 doses taken with meals. Oregano oil is another potent antimicrobial that can help to address bacteria and fungal overgrowth. So you want to look for products standardized to contain at least 70% of the active compound. And, because of its potency, oregano oil should be limited, used limited for limited periods. And really you should use it under, professional guidance. Also, you want to make sure that you don't have a food allergy to oregano. Other antimicrobial herbs include neem, garlic extract, and grapefruit seed extract. However, it is very crucial that you work with a qualified healthcare provider when you're using this phase, because testing is really needed to identify which pathogens and which antimicrobial protocols are going to be, best suited and avoid, disrupting that beneficial bacteria at the same time. So next, the replace phase focuses on supporting optimal digestive function by providing enzymes and other factors that could be deficient. So digestive enzyme supplements can be particularly helpful for people who experience bloating, gas, undigested food particles in their stool. And comprehensive digestive enzyme formulas typically contain proteases for protein digestion, lipases for fat digestion, and amylases for carbohydrate digestion. So some formulas also do include lactase if you have, and that's good if you have dairy digestion issues, and also cellulase for breaking down any plant fibers. So most people with low stomach acid, which is a very common issue that becomes actually more prevalent as we get older, betaine HCI supplements can also help to restore that optimal stomach acidity for proper digestion and also mineral absorption. But what you want to do is these should only be used again with the guidance of a healthcare professional, because they can also be harmful if the stomach acids are actually normal. And sometimes if they're high, that's going to actually exacerbate the situation. Bile acid supplements or bile supporting herbs like dandelion root, milk thistle, those can be helpful for people who have, had their gallbladder removed or who have difficulty digesting fats. These supplements will, help emulsify fats and support the absorption of the fat-soluble vitamins. So then the reinoculation phase involves replenishing that beneficial bacteria through probiotic supplements and prebiotic fibers. So probiotic supplements can provide very specific strains of beneficial bacteria in therapeutic amounts that can be a lot of times very difficult to achieve using just fermented foods. When you choose a probiotic supplement, there's several factors that you need to consider as well. You want to look for products that specify the exact strains included and the number of colony-forming units at the time of expiration, not just at manufacture. That's a common challenge that we see. Different strains have different benefits. So understanding your specific needs can help you make the right selection. Lactobacillus and bifidobacterium species are they're the most well-researched probiotic strains for general gut health. Lactobacillus acidophilus and Lactobacillus rhamnosus have been shown to support immune function and also may help with any digestive symptoms that you have. Bifidobacterium longum and bifidobacteria bifidium, say that 5 times fast, are particularly important for colon health, and they also can help with inflammation. Saccharomyces boulardii is a beneficial yeast that's particularly useful during and after antibiotic treatment because it's not going to be affected by antibiotics, and it can help to prevent any antibiotic-associated diarrhea and also C. diff infections. So, not to get too fancy with all of those, but if you've ever looked at the back of or on a bottle of any of the probiotics, you'll see a lot of these names, but you don't really know what they are or what they're good for. So this might give you a little bit of a baseline. For prebiotic supplements, they provide food with very beneficial bacteria that can also help support the growth and activity of your existing gut microbiome. A lot of people are sensitive, and they have sensitive digestive systems. So you may need to start with very small amounts of prebiotics because they can initially, if used too much, can cause gas and bloating in and of itself. So start slow, titrate up, which is actually good advice for any supplementation. And then the next phase is the repair phase, and that focuses on providing nutrients that support the integrity and healing of your intestinal lining. L-glutamine is probably the most important supplement in this category. It's a preferred fuel source for intestinal cells. Glutamine supports the maintenance and repair of your gut lining, specifically, leaky gut. And glutamine is particularly important when you're in times of a lot of stress, if you have an illness, or if you're, intense physical activity. When your body needs may exceed what can be obtained from your food. And typical therapeutic doses range from 15 to 45 grams daily. And that's also often, divided into multiple different doses. Glutamine powder can be mixed in water, can be mixed in smoothies, and is really very generally well tolerated by most. Zinc carnosine is a unique form of zinc that has been specifically studied for its gut healing properties. And unlike your regular zinc supplements, zinc carnosine releases zinc very slowly in the stomach and small intestine, and that's going to provide targeted support for that mucosal healing. And the typical dose here is 50 milligrams twice a day, and it's best taken on an empty stomach. Now, omega-3 fatty acids, particularly your EPA and DHA from fish oil, provide powerful anti-inflammatory support that can heal the gut lining and also reduce systemic inflammation overall. And very high quality fish oil supplements should be molecularly distilled to remove any of the contaminants. And they should provide at least 1,000 to 3,000 milligrams of combined EPA and DHA daily for therapeutic purposes. Now, vitamin D also plays a very crucial role in immune function and intestinal barrier integrity. And a lot of people with gut issues are deficient in vitamin D, and supplementation can be very beneficial here because it's very hard to get enough sun, especially if you live in the northern part of the United States, for example, in the wintertime. And so it's important, though, that you really do want to test your vitamin D levels to work with a healthcare professional to determine, first of all, where you need to be and the appropriate dose, because it can vary really between individuals and how well you absorb. Collagen peptides can provide the amino acids needed for repairing and maintaining that gut lining. And collagen supplements are particularly rich in glycine, proline, and hydroxypropylene. Those are amino acids that are abundant in the intestinal lining. And typical doses will range from 10 to 20 grams a day, and they can be, it can be mixed in with beverages, smoothies. I like to have mine in my coffee in the morning. It's tasteless most of the time, unless you get a flavored one. And then the next phase is the rebalance phase, and that's focusing on maintaining the improvements that you've, achieved through the previous phases and supporting that long-term gut health. And this might include some ongoing probiotic supplementation, some digestive enzymes as needed, and nutrients that support the overall health and stress resilience. Magnesium is a mineral that's involved in over 300 enzymatic reactions in the body, and it's a lot of times very often deficient in people with digestive issues. And if you're particularly under a lot of stress. Magnesium is going to support muscle relaxation, including the smooth muscles of that digestive tract, and they can help with constipation. Magnesium glycinate is probably the best tolerated form for people that have sensitive digestive systems. B vitamins are crucial for energy production, nervous system function, and the metabolism of nutrients. And people with gut issues often have a lot of difficulty absorbing your B vitamins. So a lot of times, until you get up and running and repaired and all of that, supplementation can be very, very beneficial. A very high quality B complex supplement or methylated forms of B vitamins can be particularly helpful for people with genetic variations that affect that B vitamin metabolism. Adaptogen herbs like ashwagandha, rhodiola, and holy basil can also help to support the body's response to stress, and also may indirectly benefit gut health by reducing the impact of chronic stress specifically on your digestive system. So, the supplement quality varies significantly between manufacturers. So it's really important to choose products that are from reputable companies and that follow very good manufacturing practices. So you want to look for products that have been third-party tested for purity and potency, and avoid products that, that obviously use, just like in food, unnecessary fillers, artificial colors, or preservatives. They have there's no benefit except perhaps a marketing tool. Professional grade supplements are available, through your healthcare provider. A lot of times they have higher quality standards than those that are available in the retail stores. And also, be cautious of buying from Amazon unless it's coming directly from their store. And they can be a little bit more expensive when you're getting them through a healthcare professional, but the investment in the quality can be so well worthwhile because you're not just kind of throwing money down the drain, right? And the timing of the supplement intake can also affect both the efficacy and the tolerability of those. So probiotics are a lot of times best taken on an empty stomach or with a very small amount of food. On the other hand, your digestive enzymes, those should be taken with meals because obviously that's when you want to aid the digestion, right? Fat-soluble vitamins are best absorbed when they're taken with meals that contain some fat. Makes sense, right? And so, some supplements can actually interact with medications, or they may not be appropriate for specific health conditions. So, for example, people who are taking, blood thinning medications need to be very, very cautious with any kind of high dose omega-3 supplements because omega-3s can also be thinning the blood as well. And people with autoimmune conditions need to also avoid immune stimulating supplements. That makes sense, right? You don't want to kick that into overdrive. And so that's where it's really very crucial to work with a qualified healthcare professional who understands both your health conditions and the supplements that you are considering, right? They can also help you to identify any potential interactions and ensure that your whole supplement protocol is safe and appropriate for your individual situation. So when you start a supplement protocol, it's generally best, like I mentioned earlier, to start slowly, introduce one supplement at a time, and even don't go to the full dose right away. Work up to the full dose. This is going to allow you the time that you need to identify any supplements that might cause you, adverse reactions and help prevent overwhelming your system as you're trying to repair it. So, you want to start with foundational supplements like very high quality multis if you want, omega-3 fatty acids, and vitamin D if you're deficient in it. And then you can gradually add more targeted supplements based on your specific needs and your symptoms. You want to keep, it's a good idea actually to keep a supplement and system diary to track how you respond to different products, because that can also help you to identify which supplements are most beneficial and which you need to adjust. And, again, many of the supplements are available over the counter, obviously, and you can buy them pretty much at any health food store. But when you're working with a qualified healthcare provider, they're going to understand functional medicine approaches to gut health, and that can be truly invaluable. They're going to be able to help you identify specific deficiencies through that testing and through the lab testing, and so that you're not taking something that you don't need or not taking something that you do need. And, and they're going to be able to recommend appropriate products and doses and monitor your progress over this, over time. Functional medicine doctors, practitioners, naturopathic physicians, dietitians, registered dietitians, FDNs with expertise in gut health can provide valuable guidance in developing that appropriate supplement protocol for you. They can help you navigate the complexities of your gut healing journey, and they can ensure that your approach is both comprehensive, but also well coordinated and well tolerated. And it's important to, have realistic expectations about supplements and also the timeline for your gut healing, because some people are going to notice improvements within days or weeks of starting, to heal the gut and using certain supplements, and others are going to need several months to see any kind of significant change. And it's often not going to be a dramatic change when you're supplementing and repairing at the same time, but it's going to be kind of gradual, and it's not going to be like taking a medication where you'll feel instant results. It takes time for the body to heal and for the gut to heal, and it knows how to do that. You just have to treat it right, right? And the goal of supplementation in gut healing is, it's temporary most of the time. It's going to provide some intensive support during the healing phase, and then you're going to want to transition to a maintenance approach that may require fewer, different, or maybe no supplements at all. And as your gut health improves through the comprehensive dress code approach, you may find that you don't need any supplements at all to maintain optimal digestive function, or maybe just periodically. So as we conclude our dress code series, let's take a moment to appreciate the comprehensive framework that we've built here together. So we've explored how your diet provides the foundation for gut health, how rest allows your digestive system to repair and regenerate, and how exercise enhances gut motility and reduces inflammation, how stress management supports the gut-brain connection, and how strategic supplementation can accelerate healing. So the power of the dress code lies not in any one of the single elements there, but in how these 5 pillars work together synergistically, and each element supports and amplifies the other. And that creates a very comprehensive approach that addresses the root causes of gut dysfunction rather than just managing your symptoms. So your gut health journey is unique to you, and the specific implementation of the dress code may need to be tailored to your individual needs, preferences, and circumstances. But the fundamental principles remain the same. Nourish your gut with the right foods, give your body the adequate rest it needs, move regularly, manage your stress effectively, and then provide targeted support when it's needed. And remember that gut healing is going to take time, and progress may not always be linear. Be patient with yourself, be patient with the process, celebrate small improvements, and don't hesitate to reach out to a professional healthcare provider for guidance when you need it. Your gut health is the foundation of your overall wellness. It influences everything from your immune function, your mood, to your energy levels, and even your cognitive performance. And so by implementing the dress code, you're giving your digestive system everything it needs to heal and thrive. So, thanks for joining me on this journey through the dress code for gut healing. I hope that this series has provided you with some knowledge, some tools, and some inspiration that maybe you need to transform your digestive health and, in turn, your overall quality of health. So that's a wrap on our complete dress code series for gut healing. You now have this comprehensive roadmap for transforming your digestive health, and both naturally and sustainably. So until next week, stay happy and stay healthy. Hey friend, I hope today's episode brought you some real value. If it did, would you take just 30 seconds to share it with a friend who might be struggling to get her gut in check? And if you're feeling extra generous, leave me a review on Apple. It absolutely lights me up knowing that this podcast is making a difference for you. All right, it's time for me to grab my protein shake and get my gut happy. I'll see you back here next Tuesday for another episode of Gut Fix. And until then, stay happy and stay healthy.